Hey Alessandro, so here are these chords explained a little more clearly and thoroughly. Again, these are quartal chords, which means they're built in fourths. Most chords are built in thirds. These ones are not. They're built in fourths. And the way we're using them, you can use them a ton of ways, but we're just talking about using them in a Dorian, a minor Dorian progression or sensibility. So just to review really quick, if you've not heard of Dorian, if you don't know what that exactly means, we're basically talking about mode 2 of a major scale. So let's just talk about C major, which has no flats, no sharps. If anyone tells you different, they're lying. No flats, no sharps, so that means C, D, E, F, G, A, B, C, and that's it. Those are the only notes. Nothing else. And if you were to harmonize a major scale, which I think Tim spoke about in his interview with you, you come up with a major chord, minor, minor, major, dominant, minor again, diminished, back to 1. And what we're looking at when we say Dorian is the second, that minor 7 chord that comes on the second degree of the scale. And when we say Dorian, we say D Dorian, right? So C is 1, D comes after C, which makes it 2, and that's minor, as we just figured out. So when we say D Dorian, we're talking about a minor chord, but we're talking about using a context of a C major scale. So everything I play all has a C major thing over the sound of D minor, which sounds really nice. Now these chords, getting to it, like I said, they're built in fourths, not thirds. So let's see exactly what that means. Let's start on D minor and look at this A string. And I'll tab it out so you can see it a little more clearly. You put your index finger on the A string, 5th fret, that's your D, right? We're just going to go up the scale and build chords in fourths using C major, so no flats and no sharps. So that's going to look like this. Your first chord has a D, then go up a 4th, which is a G, which is a 5th fret on the next string. We're going to go to a C after that, and an F. It sounds nice, it's got way more of a spacey feel to it. Okay, let's go to the next degree of the scale, E. That sounds nice too. Chord built in fourths. Next is F. You have to change your fingering here. So that's 7th fret, 9, 9, 10. And it's important, if you can, to think about the notes that are actually happening here. There's F, B, natural, E, natural, and A. Remember, there's no flats, no sharps. So far, sounding good. Moving on to G, which is G, C, F, B. So sounding good, sounding good. Then A, same fingering as the first one. B, same fingering again, just higher. We're almost done. C is a new fingering. So that's C, F, B, and E. And we're back home to D, D minor. These are nice sounds. And you hear them all over the place. I mentioned it's kind of the So What Miles Davis. And you can use any of these over a D minor chord, especially if there's not a whole lot going on. And the little lick that I showed you in the video which is really simple. What I do. And that just shows you how you can sort of float around between these chords and use the Dorian mode to kind of spice up the sound. That first thing I did was just slide up, play the major 7, and I'll tab it out. That's just kind of a goofy lick that shows how you can splice between some of these chords and sounds. So let me play it like I did over Chicken Grease. So I'm moving it up to F sharp minor here. It sounds something like this. You get the idea. You can play around with it. You hear it in a lot of different players, and you hear it in a lot of different ways. And I just encourage you to check it out. It's something that's a little goofy. It sounds goofy. Quartal Chords. Yeah, so I hope you liked it. Sorry for nerding out a little bit. Use it sparingly. Rhythm is more important than any number of complicated ways you could use that stuff. Just be really tasteful about what you're doing, because just throwing, as you know, a bunch of different chords over a bunch of other people's playing without necessarily a rhythmic intention is not the best way to make friends. So anyway, I hope you liked it, and the tabs were helpful, and thanks again for doing this, man. It's really a treat, and I'll talk to you soon. Alright, bye guys.